The other day, I nearly stopped being friends with one of my best friends. I'm going to tell you guys the story in a second, but first I want to show you the G-Wagon, then I'm going to show you the 812 Superfast, and then we're going to show you the McLaren 720S, and then the Ferrari 488 Spider over there. My brother's in the Lamborghini Huracan right now, and for those of you wondering about my other two cars, the Porsche GT3 RS and the Lamborghini Urus, we sold those cars at the moment. We have 5 supercars, 1, 2, 3, 4. My brother's in the Huracan, like I said. And then this house, we rent it. We don't own it, but we rent it here in Dubai. Anyway, I'm going to go inside because it's hot. I just wanted to show you guys the house, the cars. Let's go. Okay, boys, we're inside now. This is what the living room looks like. By the way, this is kind of like a little house tour at this point. I don't even think I've ever made a house tour here. And it's been like a year since I've been living in this house. Let me show you guys. We have an elevator here too. We're not going to use the elevator now, but I'll show you guys. Look, as you see. Elevator in the crib. Anyway, we're going to sit down and get on with this video. And there's a very, very important lesson in this video, so pay attention. Okay, boys, so the other day, my friend messaged me on Instagram. And he was like, bro, don't wash your cars in the car machine wash. So I took one of my supercars, one of the ones I just showed you, go to the car wash. I put up my Instagram story or something. And he replies to me saying, bro, you shouldn't wash your cars there because it's going to scratch the cars. It's going to damage the wrap or damage the paint. I can't remember exactly what he said. And I messaged him. I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck about the car wrap. I don't give a fuck about the paint. Now, obviously, I was half joking in my reply. He's one of my closest friends. And I'm not actually going to stop being friends with him for this reason. But I told him, and I'm telling you guys, that is not the right mindset to have. I didn't become the person who afforded all of these supercars and had 7 supercars at one point and live in a mansion and wear $250,000 watches. Actually, that's not $250,000. This is, I think I bought this actually for like $193,000, something along those lines. But I didn't wear $200,000 watches, have $1 million watch collection, live the life I live right now because I was worried about scratches and worried about this little thing going wrong and that problem. Every single day, there's problems in my life. I'm not worried about minor little inconveniences, and I'm certainly not worried about a little scratch. In fact, I scratch this watch all the time. I wear this watch in the gym. People are like, aren't you worried you're going to drop it or the dumbbell is going to hit this? Well, then let the fucking dumbbell hit this watch. Let it scratch. Let it break. I didn't work hard to buy these things to then not wear them and not enjoy them. The whole point of buying these things is to enjoy them. If you're going to go through your life always thinking, this could go wrong, or what's going to go wrong, or what about if this happens, or what about if this person drops the dumbbell on your watch, and what do you mean what about? And what about if the fucking sky comes falling down and we all die? What about if a fucking meteor hits the fucking earth? What about if a terrorist comes and shoots us all? What about if I die of cancer? What about if I die of food starvation because all the food runs out in the world? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, like, the car's going to get scratched and maybe this might lower the value of the car? Like, what are you guys talking about? This mindset has to go. So many young men work hard, buy a Rolex, and then don't wear the Rolex because they're worried that they're going to scratch their Rolex or they're worried that someone's going to steal it. Don't live in a city or country where someone's going to steal your watch. That's point 1. Point 2, okay, if they steal it, then they steal it. Try and be careful. Try and be safe. But what are you going to do? Never wear it on a date. Never wear it in the gym. Never wear it and have fun wearing the watch. What's the point of buying a watch? What's the point of working hard? What's the point of living in a nice place? Some people say, oh, if you make money, don't spend a lot of money living in a nice place because, you should invest in assets and you should live modestly. Yeah, invest in assets. I'm a massive believer in investing in assets. But if you're not going to live in a nice place, because of your fear of spending too much money or you're worried that someone's going to come in and rob your house, well, then what the fuck? You're going to live your whole life worried. I don't live my life in fear. Fear is one of the biggest sins on the planet. Living in worry and anxiety and fear is literally a sin. God does not want you to be worried. God does not want you to be anxious or doubtful. Also, I'm a big believer in action removing doubt. If I'm working hard, if I'm constantly doing new things, then nothing really can affect me. I'm only doubtful and worrisome when I'm not working hard, when I'm just sitting there not doing anything. If you're always attacking new things in life and always trying your very best and you're talking to the right people and working hard on your business and going to the gym, staying healthy, eating well, drinking water, staying hydrated, nothing can really affect your mind. Also, I want to talk to you guys about a concept that I think about that very few people actually think about, and I call it the difference. So what I mean by that is, when you're spending money or when you're worrying about the cost of something, don't look at the actual sum of money you're spending or the cost of something. Look about the difference between this situation and then this situation. So for example, Let's say you're buying a supercar and it costs 250K. Ask yourself, how much could you have sold that car? How much can you sell that car for in a year, for example? If you can sell that same car for 220K, then you're basically renting the car for $30,000, which is about $2,500 a month. Yeah, you have a couple K in insurance. Yeah, the car could break down as well. You might have some more repair costs. Also, you can look at the opportunity cost of the 250K. So let's say you put that 250K into the S&P 500. On average, they say you get about 7-8% a year. Let's say it's 7% a year. 7% of 250K, well, 1% is 2.5K times 7. 17.5K. So 17.5K for a 7% return from 250K. So 17.5K plus the 30K you spend on the car. Let's say if you sell it for 30K less a year later, that's 47K plus insurance. Okay, it's about 50K for the year. But if you're rich, who the fuck cares about 50K a year? You're basically renting the car for 4K a month. I'd say that's worth it. So, if you're buying a car, you basically are not spending 250K. You're spending 50K if you sell it after a year. Now, I've had my supercars for like 3 years, actually, most of them, I think. The Superfast is coming up to 3 years, but the other cars have had them for 3 years. The G-Wagon, I think, 1 year. But anyway, the point is when you sit there and think to yourself, oh, I'm going to take my car to this car machine wash and maybe it's going to scratch my paint. Well, okay, if it does scratch my car and it damages the wrap or it damages the paint, guess what? I can just pay to get it fixed. I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't give a fuck. How much is it to wrap a car? How much is it to fix the paint or whatever the fuck that even means? Like, I don't think any scratches are going to come on the car. A couple K, a couple $1,000s to wash the car how I want instead of having some guy come to my house and wash it himself or whatever the situation would be. It doesn't really matter. I'm not tripping over the couple K. People worry too much about things that aren't that important. Put all of your mental energy in attack mode, less on defense mode. Everyone is always trying to save and hold on to what they have at the moment. I'm a massive believer in attacking and getting new cars, new money, new land, new property, new thinking, new mental models, new connections, new countries I've traveled to. Everyone's always trying to hold on to what they have, their 401k, their small savings account, the 2 friends they have. That's why people don't have any self-respect. That's why people have no boundaries. That's why if someone betrays them or someone disrespects them, they still keep those people in their life because they're like, no, my friend said this, or oh no, my girlfriend said this, or oh no, this person said this. And they're always so worried about letting go of certain people or letting go of some of the money they have because in their mind, it's so hard to replace their girlfriend with a new girlfriend. It's so hard to replace this old money with new money. But if you're an ambitious dude and you're an intelligent guy, you should be thinking, okay, there are 8 billion people in this world. As long as I provide a valuable service to other people, I'm always going to be able to make other money or new money. That's why the name of my private community is called New Money, because I'm a massive believer in chasing new money. I'm a massive believer in attacking. I'm a massive believer in attack is the best defense. I'm a massive believer in not holding on to what we have, but just acquiring more. There is a massive, massive abundance in this world, but the elites or whoever you want to call it, they try to make people feel like you have to save on to what you have. But that's stupid. If you save the money you have, inflation destroys it anyway. So you should always be working hard to get new money. You should always be working hard to invest your money and trying to get more, leveling up your thinking, leveling up your skills, then you can command more from the marketplace. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. I just wanted to give you guys this quick little story. My friend was telling me to be careful. I don't like those words, be careful. I don't like those words, yo, watch out, maybe you need to be paying attention to this or worry about this, or, oh, bro, you're going to scratch your watch, you're going to scratch your car. I don't worry about these small things. I don't give a fuck. I'm thinking, let's get more. And watch, if you guys adopt that mindset yourself, you'll realize how much more money you'd make. Be more generous. Be more caring. The other day, the delivery driver brings some food to my house. It was like 6 in the morning. He looked a bit thirsty, looked a bit dehydrated. He's working hard. He was sweating, So I offered him a C4. I was like, bro, do you want a C4 energy drink? We'll put the picture on the screen. And I was making a joke in my community. I was telling the guys, like, guys, this dude or this delivery driver, his life has changed now because he's finally discovered the power of a C4. Anyway, a C4 can is like $4 or $5. Some of you would be sat there thinking, oh no, I'm not going to offer someone a C4 because it's like $4 or $5. That's my $4 or $5. Just try to be more abundant one time in your life and watch what happens. The way you think will start to change. And when your thoughts change, your actions change. And when your actions change, your life changes. But when your actions change, your habits usually change. And when your habits change, that's what really creates the change in your life. And then you start living a completely different life and you're happier and you have more abundance. Just try it. Just try it. And ask yourself, the current thinking that you've got, because some of you are going to disagree with what I'm saying. You're going to be like, no, bro, it's not that serious. Like, you shouldn't want scratches on your car. I don't have scratches on my car. And even if I had a couple scratches, who gives a fuck? The whole point of buying things is to use them. One day you're going to be dead. Everyone's trying to get through life so perfectly, scratchless. Their watches scratchless, their cars scratchless. My friend, one day you're going to be dead. If you're lucky, you have 50 years left on this planet. You're not making it out here alive, especially not a piece of fucking shit like a car. Your car is depreciating day by day by day. But even forgetting that for a second, you are depreciating. Start acting like you are more valuable than a watch or a car or a house. You are more valuable. You are going to die one day, and you are caring about all these little fucking material items so much. Scared of spending money, scared of traveling the world while you're still a young man, while you're youthful, while you have energy, because you're worried about spending too much money, and then you're going to go broke. Imagine having one life on the planet. You're going to leave this planet anyway. You're going to disappear from planet Earth. One day you're not going to be here. And the money that you do have, you're worried about spending it and enjoying it and investing it and meeting new people and using it because you're worried that you're going to need it later. Later, you're going to die. Why are people so concerned about later? Worry about today. Are you living your dream life today? Because I know for me, personally, I'm very, very close to living my dream life. And sometimes I sit there and I journal a couple thoughts. Not often. And it doesn't always have to be on a pen and paper, but sometimes I write on my computer or on my phone. And I ask myself, if I had $1 billion right now, what would be different about my life? And genuinely, God kill me if I'm lying, there are only a couple little things I might tweak. One thing that I would have if I was actually a billionaire is I'd buy a private jet. I think that's cool. You can travel more efficiently and quickly. You can have business meetings on the jet. It'd be pretty fucking cool. Cars, would I want a Pagani? Would I want a Bugatti? Would I want a LaFerrari? Yeah, I'd take them if they were offered. Do I give a shit about them? No. If you've ever been in an 812 Superfast, you'll be like, you know what? This is pretty fucking good. A car can't really get much better than an 812 Superfast or a G-Wagon or a Ferrari 488 Spider. Yeah, LaFerrari's better. Sure. I've sat in a LaFerrari. I've sat in a Bugatti. I've even sat in a Bugatti Divo and a Chiron and a Veyron. I've looked at all these cars because I was actually going to be buying a Bugatti Chiron like 2.5 years ago. In about November 2023, I remember actually considering buying one very seriously. I don't really care. I'd rather have the money invested away. Would it be nice? Yes. Would it be cool? Yes. Do I really give a shit? No. Now, if I had a Mercedes, would I want a supercar? Yes. There's a big difference between a supercar and a Mercedes. But a difference between a Bugatti and a Superfast, as a driving experience in Dubai where the speed camera's everywhere, it's minimal. So enjoy your life while it's here, boys. There's only a couple of things I'd personally change about my life, but be honest with your life. Is there some things you'd want to change? If there is, change them. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Every single day we have a video coming out, boys. I'm working hard behind the scenes right now on some other things I'm doing in my life. I just need to finish a couple little things, and then very, very soon, I'm going to be, hopefully, God willing, massively improving the quality of these videos. I have so many ideas in my mind, guys. I'm just busy with some of the things which are, with all due respect, slightly more important to me than these videos. However, I hope you guys enjoyed the information. Stay subscribed. Stay watching these videos. It's only going to get better. See you boys in a bit. Love.